Hello and welcome to this presentation on the third year of the Bachelor of UX and Web Design, specifically for Christiania University of Norway students. My name is Tristan Bunn. I am the course coordinator of this offering, and this is a presentation to discuss what you would be in for if you chose to come and study in Australia for your third year. All of the information about this degree is available on the Torrance website. You can access that using the URL depicted on the screen right now. Alternatively, if you do enter the website at torrance.edu.au, you shouldn't have too much trouble navigating across to the Bachelor of UX and Web Design offering. Once you've located that on the website or accessed it directly, you will see the 3 years that comprise the degree. So here in year one, we have our subjects listed, which are broken into core subjects and specialization subjects. Core subjects are those which all of our creative and design students are involved in, and the specialization subjects are those which are typically unique to those students who pursue web and UX design. Now, you can go through these different years and see all the subjects, but of course, you've already completed a number of those and are considering coming for just your third year. However, we have looked carefully at what you would have studied and what is in the Torrance offering. So your selection of third year subjects is not exactly the same as the year 3 listed on the website. So over the next few slides, I'm going to quickly describe which subjects you are exempt from, which ones you will need to take, and then what those subjects entail. So regarding the year 1 subjects, you will have credit for all of those. For the year 2 subjects, you have credit for all of those with the exception of UX fundamentals. So in the 1 year that you do spend at Torrance, UX Fundamentals is one of the subjects you will need to complete. Looking at the third year, you have credit already for an elective 3, and the rest of the third year subjects you will complete. So effectively what's happened over here is we've brought one subject across from the second year into the third year and then replaced the elective that was in that slot. So you can look over those subjects quickly. I'm going to describe each one of them over the next couple of slides. So the subject that we've brought across from the second year is one named UX Fundamentals. And this is very much our sort of real solid introduction to UX design for our students. So most of our students will dabble in different areas of UX and web design as they do their first year, but when they get to the second year and they've accumulated a fair amount of skills, we're ready to put them through something a bit more rigorous and a bit more involved. So this is the UX Fundamentals subject. If you want to pause the presentation on any one of these slides and read the description or perhaps come back to it later, please feel free to do so. The social enterprise subject is one which is a bit more theoretically based. It is a third year offering, and it looks at taking entrepreneurial activities into the social space. So you can think about it sort of as bringing all the ideas of business and marketing and skills that are usually used in a commercial sector and applying that to good causes. Once again, if you want to read the description, you can see it on the screen there. And if you do want any more information about any of these subjects, you can try and locate some on the website. And if you're unable to find what you want to over there, please feel free to reach out to someone at Torrance for more information. Then there is the component library development subject. If any of you have heard of front-end JavaScript frameworks like React, this is what this subject is all about. So it's quite a technical subject, and effectively what you will be doing is using these techniques of component development to build components to make up a website. Now, I don't know exactly where you're at in terms of your technical ability, but you can kind of think of components as reusable objects that you can put all over a website to build its functionality in that manner. The next subject on the list is advanced UX applications. Now, this is kind of a follow-on from the 200 level subject that we brought into the third year. And it's the most advanced UX subject that we offer in our 3-year degree. So you will be working with some sort of bona fide UX professionals looking at quite real world, quite practical UX projects. And you'll be going through the entire process of scoping a project, planning it, prototyping it, and so forth, in order to get it from the beginning of the UX process to the end. So I'm going to assume that you have some understanding what UX is, because I've mentioned it quite a few times. But for those of you who perhaps are wondering, I better be safe and just explain that UX design is user experience design, and it's all about looking at how users use digital products in order to enhance them. The next subject is major project. Now, the major project is really your opportunity to get stuck into something you really want to get good at. The idea behind this is that there is no set brief. You kind of get to decide on what your brief will be within certain parameters. And usually you will be selecting your brief and defining your brief based on what it is that you want to learn and what area it is that you see yourself as specializing as a professional. So this is a great opportunity to perhaps work on your sort of most showcaseable projects in your portfolio when you head out into industry. The next subject I've got listed here is elective 4. Now, it's just the fourth elective that happens to occur in the degree, hence the name. But the idea over here is that you are able to select from a basket of electives one 300 level subject. So the two that are listed there are culture of change and business by design. But there are, technically speaking, others that you might be able to take. But that's subject to availability and some other factors. Most of you will probably land up taking culture of change or business by design. You can look up more about those on the Torrance website. And if you do have any questions, we can put you in contact with the people who coordinate those courses. Then there's the live brief or work integrated learning brief. Now this has 2 subject codes, and the reason for that is because there are 2 options in how you pursue the subject. So one of those is to take on an internship. In other words, to go work in a professional environment with professional people to learn from them. The other option is to take on a live project. So the idea behind this is that we get a client to come in from industry to give us a live industry brief, and then you can work on that either independently or collaboratively in teams. So this is a really practical subject, something where you get to work on real world briefs with real world clients, whichever option you take. Then there is the portfolio, and as you're probably aware, the portfolio involves compiling all of your work into some type of portfolio that you can then take out in order to get jobs, basically. You'll spend time in this subject defining your professional identity, coming up with branding, putting all your work together, presumably into some type of web-based format. And it's crucial that you have a strong portfolio in order to get that job, because a lot of the time it's pretty much the most important thing, or the key thing that our clients are looking for, or sorry, not clients, but rather employers are looking for when they are looking to employ new recruits. Now, I've spoken about a couple of subjects there in third year. The one thing I should mention before I conclude is that I kind of read out those subjects in a given sequence. You do not have to take those subjects in that sequence, and sometimes you will be forced to take it in a different sequence because of the availability. What I mean by that is that some subjects run in some trimesters, but not others. So that's just something to bear in mind. Don't worry too much if you cannot do the subjects in the exact order that I presented them. I suppose in some ways it's a sort of prescribed way we might recommend it, but you don't have to do it in that order. Anyhow, that's all I need to discuss. If you do have any questions, please reach out to somebody at Torrance and we can endeavor to help you. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.